Okay. I think it's all looking good now. All right. Welcome back to Digital Cortex. My name's Steven. This is Random Styles, and we actually have a special guest, my good friend Eddie. He's here.
Hello.
Yeah.
He stopped it.
Well, I didn't want to do it over him. I guess I should have faded it out or something, but whatever. Eddie, welcome. Tell us about yourself as much as you want.
Thanks for having me. I've known Steven for quite a number of years now. We used to work together a long time ago in California before we each moved out of state. So it's been a long journey. I think we were each other's best men in our wedding. So
That's right.
So you guys both moved out of California.
Yeah, I
So
moved
what's
out
up
first.
with that, man?
I moved out first to Arizona.
I thought California was the best.
It was, but it's expensive.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Dude, you bring that up actually, and I just read an article that 14% of the people that live in California can actually afford to buy a house,
That makes sense to me.
which is crazy.
What was
I'm
that?
surprised it's that high, to be honest. It's
It seems like it should be lower.
houses
Yeah,
are ridiculous out there.
it's I mean, obviously the prices have been going up, but everyone's income is not matching, and the price of the houses, and then this crazy situation with the house buying and everything. So it's just pushed it even further out of reach for just the normal average person. So it's crazy, man.
Okay. Yeah, and then Eddie,
What do you mean, okay?
Eddie moved to Texas. I'm sorry, I got distracted with this stupid little pen.
He just said okay. But
That was pretty bad.
you went to states that were more accommodating, right? Arizona, obviously, and then where'd you go, Eddie?
Texas.
Texas, another one. What'd you like about Texas?
That is cheap.
Yeah, wide open.
But that's about it. Yeah. I mean, I live in the suburbs, 5 feet from my neighbors, so it's not that wide open. But
My brother went to what was the college called? It's escaping my memory right now, but it was close to Midland, and everything is so spread out. Like even the restaurants, the parking lots that we were parking in were so big, it was ridiculous.
yeah, I haven't been to Midland. What is that? What is that near?
I don't know. I am not versed in Texas land, but all I know is it's the home of George Bush.
Oh yeah, that is like kind of in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it really is in the middle of nowhere. You just drive forever and you just see nothing.
I helped Eddie move to Texas, and that was a crazy ass journey. It's a long story, but it was nothing but just fields and graveyards and icy bridges.
Oh, you guys went in the wintertime.
No, there's just signs for icy bridges.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought they were icy.
Yeah, every single bridge over every single little creek says caution, bridge may ice in cold weather.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they're not gonna come and defrost it or anything, so you got to watch out. But
And I do not recommend budget rental trucks. I would go with any other option.
Oh man, the budget truck was a fucking nightmare.
did we talk about that story on here?
I think we did.
Yeah,
but
I think we
don't
did
fucking
too.
remember what we talk about, man.
I know.
We talk about so much shit
But
here.
yeah, actually, I want to say we did. We talked about the whole move and everything, and the armrest that you never used.
Oh
and
yeah,
found
yeah,
later.
yeah. We did. We did.
I still get mad anytime that gets brought up. It's just, oh,
It's such a frustrating fucking story.
Yeah.
It really is. It's so bad.
You guys hit every possible roadblock.
Now, I did want to interrupt on a technical note. The way we had to get Eddie in here is through like a whole Skyping situation, so his audio might come out a little lower. But the main reason Eddie's here is he's going to help us talk about a crazy story that has a lot of personal interest to me. You haven't heard of Linus Media Group or Linus Tech Tips before, right?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
So just like to break it down, Linus Tech Tips started as a YouTube channel. This guy named Linus Sebastian. He is I think he is the biggest tech YouTuber. Is that right, Eddie?
He's definitely up there. I don't know if he's the absolute biggest, but
Huge. He's got like
wouldn't say-
over 100 employees, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a huge company.
Huge, like multiple warehouses where he does all his production.
Wow.
He has multiple different channels, tech
Tons of
quickies.
sets. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like a Mr. Beast or something?
Even, yeah, but for technology. Yeah. And his videos have always been like over the top. Like he's so big that he can get all of these like things that are so expensive. Like he could just get everything that he wants. He just asks people to send him, and they send him. They send him like 100,000
to test stuff
of dollars worth of product to like test and make videos off of, or just use in his own personal house and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's been doing this since like the early 2010s, I believe. And he started off on like a whole different platform and then moved to his own Linus Tech Tips, and then he created all these other channels, and he grew and grew and grew and grew, and he's just become like so big. They put off videos like every single day on multiple channels. Like, what is it, like 3 or 5 videos a day per
Jeez.
channel?
Right.
Or no, well, not per channel, but overall.
Yeah.
And on top of that, they have now like a 24-hour live stream. They have like a podcast show called The Lion Show.
Wait, a 24-hour live
Yes,
stream
they
of
24-hour live stream, just different, I think, content. I don't know. I haven't looked into it yet because it was relatively new when I heard about it.
Just
But they're just
videotaping?
constantly live. It's just not even like their live content, but they're uploading live content to be shown 24/7 on YouTube.
Oh, I pictured like they were just videotaping like Roombas and like different robots moving around.
No, that'd probably be better. And then they have an entire different company called Floatplane, which is their version of YouTube. Like they created an entire platform for creators to like put content on that have better quality and stuff than YouTube. And it's a way for the creators to be more in control of their content. Like they can create fees and stuff to subscribe to these videos and their content on Floatplane. So pretty
Very
big.
similar to like a Patreon.
Yes,
Okay.
but for like videos. So Eddie, go ahead and tell us a little bit about the drama that's recently happened with LTT. And this is like pretty huge.
Tech drama?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It started with a review of a water cooling block for both a CPU and a GPU. Like one would be mounted kind of on the bottom, and then one would be mounted on top. And then they reviewed this cooler. It was manufactured by Billet Labs, like a small startup in Europe. So they sent it over to Linus. They reviewed it. They sent him the water cooling block and a GPU to go with it for the review, which is a 3090 Ti. It's a pretty high end graphics card, I would say. It's less, but it's still top of the line.
Like when that one released, it was how much? Like 1,800 MSRP or something, and then you can try to find it because it was so hard to get. That you couldn't get an MSRP, so people were spending like $3,000 on these things.
Oh, in the aftermarket?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all those scalpers.
Yeah.
Oh, sons of bitches.
What I run in my computer is a 3080 Ti, and I got that at MSRP for like $1,200. I had to wait in line for 16 hours at Best Buy for that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Physical line or just like online?
Physical.
And it took you months to find something.
Yeah, I was searching for months so I can build a new PC.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm. All to play Cyberpunk, and I don't play it.
But anyway, so they review this water cooling block, and they had lost track of the 3090 Ti that was shipped with it. So they tested it with a 4090, which is a more powerful graphics card, but more importantly, it's not the exact same. And water cooling blocks are milled kind of very specifically for each use case. So you're not going to have cross compatibility unless it's been verified, which they didn't do.
Right.
And in the end, Linus's whole thing was that he didn't feel it made a difference because it was such an impractical product that nobody would really even purchase. So he didn't think it was worth, finding the proper card and doing it the right way. And in his own words, he said, I don't want to spend $100, $200, $300, $500 of his workers' time to reshoot. So I think that's kind of what spurred a Gamers Nexus, which is another tech YouTuber, to make a video in response to that. Kind of calling him out and calling out other concerns about how their quality has been slipping, probably because they're posting 25 plus videos a week, so it's impossible to keep up with that. And
you can
also
only stretch so far.
Yeah,
you're gonna start to miss things, and
like when they're saying like data and graphs that they would use to show, how well these different components compared in real world events, like specific games and things like that. Like all their numbers were skewed, and the way that they like retroactively fix it was not the best way to do it.
Like a pinned comment, pretty much.
Yeah, like a pinned comment or a quick little snippet at the side of the video.
No, you need to do a whole new video saying this is the new...
Or at least cut the video and be like, actually, just to let you all know, we did this later and it's not in the video, but we did it this way, But they didn't. They don't do that.
So it's irresponsible.
And it's something where if they uploaded less videos each week, they'd have more time to devote to corrections and things like that.
Or test something multiple times, like we got this reading, we need to do another one just to, you have to do multiple tests and make sure that that's the correct readings.
And the worst part about all that too is that he spent like millions of dollars to create an entire testing lab and hire people specifically to test these products with industrial machines, an entire crazy ass different testing machines for, like, they even have an entire room that they had to build that cost so much money just to test the effectiveness of different like Wi-Fi signals and stuff. Yeah, without any interference and to really look at specific
crazy specialized equipment.
Yeah, because if you're trying to test Wi-Fi, you need to have like real life application too, though.
They
like
want
walls
to test
and stuff
it
like that,
the
right?
same way that you would see behind the scenes, like Apple factories testing their devices for specific.
Like those like massive rooms that they have in that commercial with all the crazy like walls that like are supposed to absorb Wi-Fi signals. Like they pretty much built that.
Yes. Yeah. And this cost them, like I said, millions of dollars to do.
Yeah.
And it's nothing to this guy. He just can write checks like that.
Yeah. I mean, Mr. Beast does it all the time.
But go on, Eddie.
So in response to the video, they put out like an apology video. They said that they were going to pause production for a week and kind of get their house in order. I think in the video there was a little bit of controversy regarding it because they monetized the video that they put up. So it's like, why are you monetizing an apology video? They plugged their merch and their lttstore.com,
of course,
which kind of like a self-reference to them, because they're kind of known for it, because they every opportunity they get, they plug their merch, but it's still like time and place kind of thing.
Yeah, it's inappropriate and unethical for what they're doing.
Hey
But
man, that's the world we live
that
in.
was kind of like the small scale in the aftermath of this, because then a former worker came out and said that there was a toxic work environment and sexual harassment. Pretty much right after the apology video came out, she came out with this. So on top of this, that kind of makes it seem like something pretty small at this point. But
Yeah, whenever I hear that stuff, I mean, obviously stuff like that happens. Like, there's definitely bad environments, but it's also like, who's saying it? Are they disgruntled? And then obviously, almost every time we don't hear about this unless something happens. We never hear about this when like things are perfect. Like when YouTube is like killing it, with the videos and the uploads and all the stuff. So it's always like, it's the timing for me. It's always I have questions. It's just like I want to know more, but you just don't know.
the time, the timing does make sense to me though, because I feel like they Linus Tech Tips has such a like full fanboy following. I think she like when she quit, she got death threats from fanboys. So I don't think when LTT's doing strong, she's gonna. And this is before she even came out with anything. I don't think if LTT's going really strong, she's gonna come out with this because she's just gonna be, um, you know, kind of murdered by the freaking
By the
By the
mob.
fanboys and all of the people who are like hardcore. Because, like I said, this guy has been doing this for over a decade, and it's been like he's the one who taught me how to build a computer. Like I got
You were
into that
watching
stuff
his
because of
videos.
his video. Like
Yeah.
I tried to learn how to do it, and his video was a step by step that showed me.
I'm sure I've seen his stuff.
You probably recognize him
If he's been around that long, I'm sure I've come across.
He's also collabed with multiple different content creators across different genres of what they market themselves for, and he's built them computers, servers, and all that stuff. He's got huge ties in with like YouTube and multiple different manufacturers, and I guess like the biggest thing of why this is such a hot topic and an issue is not just what they did, but who they are. They've blocked themselves like as a media company that is pro consumer, that is trying to like, we're not owned by anybody, we're the independent voice that's here for you, and like your friendly uncle of technology, right? So to hear all this stuff that's happening and what's coming through, it's been really big in the community for it, because a lot of people look to him and his channel and his content as like, I can trust these people. But now it's really being shown that ethically we don't know if we can trust them the same way. And even with the former employee coming out and speaking about things that have happened, which, her blog, the post that she wrote about it is very detailed, and there's some real like gasping stuff in there.
yeah, and a former employee of LTT also came out and said that although he didn't witness any firsthand, that was pretty on par with things that he had heard that were happening while he was there. So he didn't like corroborate anything directly that he saw, but he said, I've heard of this happening.
Yeah, it's always eye opening when you hear information or some of the behind the scenes kind of things. Like I'm not as like invested in all of this as maybe like other people, so I'm just looking at it from like a different point of view. But like as a like an outside audience or perspective, I think of like, have you ever heard of like this guy gave an example of like positivity and negativity, right? So like if you have a salad, right, full salad, it looks delicious, you're about to eat the salad, and then all of a sudden you see like a cockroach, like in there, what do?
You probably stop eating the salad.
You stop eating the salad, right? But what do you do with the salad?
I think you toss it.
You throw the whole thing away, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because one negative thing, you will throw the whole thing away. But it's like it's how the power of negativity is, right? Because like if you had a bowl of cockroaches, right, and you see like a little bit of salad in there, you're not gonna be like, oh, I think we can eat that part right there. That's good, because it's the negative. The negative is always gonna outweigh the positive, even in both situations, right? So people only need to hear like one thing and they're like, that's it, we're done. I'm not gonna watch his channel no more. I'm done watching him. It doesn't matter how many good things he did for so many years, how many products he gave honest reviews or nailed it, and said this is gonna break down if you buy it. Doesn't matter how many good things he did. All you need to hear is one bad thing. And it has to be, obviously.
I see what you're saying for the majority of for at least a good portion of the people, because there have been a lot of subscribers that have left. Like, what was that number, Eddie?
I think they had a on their float plane account. They had started with like 42,000 subscribers, and I think now they're down to like 36.
And that's a paid one. They have like a $5 or a $15 tier to do on that one. And then I think across all their YouTube channels, it was somewhere in the realm of like 280 to 300,000 subscribers are already gone.
Yeah. And that goes
and I see what your point there, but I think what the biggest thing is, because I was talking about this with Eddie, like it's disheartening, his words for it, and what's going to happen next, because they're so big that they're not just going to like pack it up and call it quits and they're done,
Yeah.
But I guess what really comes to like overall, they're going to make some changes. They're going to do something, but how far are they going to go with it, and how much trust can they get back from the overall community?
It's tough. Yeah. It's tough because people only need to hear one thing. It only takes one thing to bring, a whole crowd of people out. Now, they didn't lose them all, but.
Well, I think it also depends on the severity of it all, too.
Yeah.
So, we don't know what's going to happen with any of this.
It sounds like a bad
issues.
A bad situation. They didn't do their due diligence. They put something out that was incorrect, But I don't see it that bad, like it's bad, but it's not like, I don't think you need to like totally disregard everything they've ever said, kind of thing.
I will say personally, as someone who would watch every single video that would get posted, it was the content and the quality of the channel overall and their other channels has definitely like not been as appealing.
It's been going down.
Yeah, I think you can see like before, this channel used to be like about I love technology, I love this stuff, let me tell you about it. And now it's starting to seem like very forced.
It's a machine.
Yeah, it's just becoming
a corporate machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
I think they're going for that lowest common denominator too. They want to appeal to as many people as they can to gain more subscribers and get more ad revenue.
Yeah, and that's when you feel the shift. Like, oh, we're not just doing this because we like this stuff. We're doing it for viewers, for advertisers, for for the money. So you can feel that. You can feel when someone's genuine about anything.
But it's sad because they're billed, like they're advertised. Like, if you had asked me like, hey, I want to check out some like videos on laptops, who should I go to? Like, I would have been like, oh, the honest guy is going to be Linus. Go check out Linus. I trust everything they say.
But now you don't.
But now it's like, do I want to recommend that to somebody?
Oh, man.
Am I still going to be like, I'm not unsubscribed from the channel because I want to see what they do and what happens, And what about you, Eddie? Did you unsubscribe?
I have not. Mostly just because Yeah, I didn't even think about it. I
I
don't
didn't even
know.
think about
They still have
unsubscribing either.
15.4 million subscribers, so it
Mm.
kind of feels like a
It's like, yeah, I get what you're saying, and but how do you feel about it? Like, do you agree with what I said about like recommending and how that channel's perceived?
yeah, I think that I want to see how it plays out. I guess they've hired like an investigating firm to look into the allegations. So I do want to see how the company changes,
I think that's
what
smart.
effect it has.
I think that's the approach that everybody should take. I think everybody's so quick to cancel things. You know, we live in this cancel culture with everything, not just, YouTubes and stuff, but, clothing brands or people in general. We hear one bad thing, like, and nobody gives it time. Nobody said,
Mhm.
okay, well, hold on, let's look at it. Let's let them investigate, or let's find out more information, like that's probably the right approach. Let's wait, let's see what they do, let's see what content they have coming out after this. Hopefully they change things. Maybe it's a wake-up call for them.
I feel like for the most part, I'm always like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to anything,
Yeah.
I guess my question is that like, what if, like, I don't know what we're waiting to see, but like, what
would change your mind? What would you need to see?
I don't know. I guess that's the question too. What
What would you need to see them do?
Change? What do they
I
need to
think
do?
I think for me, I'd want to see the results of the investigation, see what they say, if they're able to confirm or deny any of the allegations that were made, and what their plan is to make sure it doesn't happen again.
So we
Uh,
want to see the results of this outside investigative firm. We want to see their plan of action,
Their
for
response
what
to
they
it.
do with that.
So the results, their response,
Mhm.
and then their actions.
And are they going to make these things like public to us, or are they just going to tell us about it? That's another thing, because that's like something Gamers Nexus would do. Like they're the tech YouTube that's all about data, hardcore facts. Like they don't speculate, and they'll give their opinions, but they base it on everything that they've done, all the thorough things that they've gone through.
So you think they're
And-
the next one to come up then?
Well, I doubt it, because they have a different style of video. Theirs is a lot more boring because it's all data.
So the entertainment is
Yeah,
they
lacking.
say this
entertainment
was
is lacking.
34% more than this, and this was 10% less, and yeah, it's a lot of graphs.
It's a lot of graphs, and they upload PDFs of all of their data. Like they create an entire review report, and then they upload that report for anybody else to go and look at and read even more thoroughly than their 45-minute video.
I like that though. You know what? Sometimes you'll get on pages on YouTube, especially where they're just talking and talking and just show me the numbers. I just want to know if it's good or not. Like especially with performance. What is the percentage? What did it get? What did it test at? Just tell me.
And
sometimes
Linus
that stuff's
doesn't
good.
have something like that. Not that I know of. That
And I think that's important too. I think they shouldn't change. If that's what they do, keep it boring. Sometimes boring is what you need, especially like on YouTube. Like if I'm trying to change something on my truck or something, I don't need all the bells and whistles. I don't need all the, I was working on this and I was getting really tired in my wrist, and I don't need all that. Just show me how to do it and then I'm out,
Right.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah. So what do you think, Eddie? Do you think like if they did something like that, just to have it out there, like a detail of what they reviewed, how they reviewed it, and their results, like what do they call those? Just like if they gave us a report every time, you think that would be a good thing for them to do?
I think it's definitely a step in the right direction, and I think I'd be open to seeing where they go from there. Because they do have a lot of good content. I think even though it's a little bit further and far between lately,
Mm-hmm.
they still have some good stuff that they put out. So I would not want to completely, cut them out or boycott whatever. If they do make proper changes, because I think that is important to recognize.
Yeah, agreed. Because they've always been the tech YouTube channel that's been fun and different. Because they will do like they did a whole house water cooling. They connected all of these computers to water lines and they ran them across and through a house. Like when they were working out of a house at one point.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's super interesting to me. That's kind of content I enjoyed, and one of the reasons I followed them for so long too.
It's like a tech artist.
Yeah, like
Right?
he had unique ways of filming and doing the videos, and that's how it started off. You know, and then they reviewed things and they put things through some, you know, like unorthodox methods of utilizing the technology. I always thought was cool. But yeah, there has been a lot more of these review videos or looking at this stuff that has been. I feel like a lot of the times I'm watching it, I just noticed that Linus has come up with a script and he's always making the excuse of so and so wrote this, so you know I'm just going with what they've told me already. He's just moving from video to video as just like a an actor following someone else's stuff, and he's not getting involved or giving any actual care. He's like, they set these tools out for me to use. I was supposed to put these gloves on. Is that right? And it seems like it's now more that he's like some form of a puppet or just a figure for it all. Anyway,
a figurehead, and everyone else is doing the actual work.
Would you agree, Eddie?
Sorry, toddler. Give me a sec.
No problem. He's got a beautiful little daughter.
Yeah, so like your point, I think he's liking the attention, he's liking the money, the fame. He's a celebrity, you know.
Yeah, but you know, but the thing is, he always puts himself off as like he doesn't care for it and whatnot.
Yeah, but obviously he's having some fun, you know, like it's like that, you know, that classic like movie star just walks in, you know, where's my script, you know, give me some food, you know, everybody's like walking around them, handing them things. You know, that's what it sounds like what you just described. Oh, where the gloves? Oh, I put the gloves on. Okay, let's do this. You know, like he's just there to like serve. You know, everybody should be happy that he's around in their presence, you know, kind of thing, you know.
Well, I don't think he's got like that much of an ego, but he does. Like if we just step aside from his personality and we just look at like the video content itself, there's a difference in feel. Like you can't feel for him as much as far as like loving the tech and talking about it. You know, that's what we always liked about, I would think, Linus Media Group was they enjoy the tech. They want to show you their favorite thing and they're enthusiastic about it.
Maybe he's not liking it no more, you know?
I think he's just overworking himself and his people.
And he's not.
And that's, I think, one of the big complaints, too. Is so that ruins the content. And it starts to change the overall goal or message that they have started this company with.
And it's hard to be connected to anything if you're not really reviewing it or going through it before you actually get to the table and start recording, you know?
And I get that he's so big and he's trying to, like, you know,
do a lot,
do so much, but obviously at some point he's lost the core values of, I think, what LTT was supposed to be.
Actually, I keep bringing up Mr. Beast because that's the only reference I really know.
And it's a good reference, though, because Mr. Beast, he brands himself, too, as a philanthropist and like someone who's there for fun, but in a good way. Like, he doesn't... he tries to think ethically about his decisions that he makes in the videos and what he can do. Like whenever he buys out an entire store for something, you know, he's donating all of that stuff to charities or places that it's needed.
Yeah.
So he's not doing things where we know it's just all about the glam, the glitz, the gloat, the whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely connected.
And he's so big, like.
And he said that his most valuable asset to his channel is him doing the videos. So he's constantly trying to get to a point where he's doing less of the organizing, less of the you know, day-to-day stuff, so he can just record. Because if he can record, they can get content out. So like he looks at it as he needs to be always recording you know, always working on the next video.
And it's funny too because, you know, Mr. Beast used to put out videos where it was like one topic pretty much throughout the whole video.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is all about hide and go seek, or this is a video all about this specific thing that we're doing. But more lately, if you've watched his videos, they kind of like jump between things.
So they're splicing different.
Yeah, they're like,
things
okay,
together.
now let's go check at this thing. And they have multiple different events going on all at the same time.
That's a lot of planning.
Wild. I feel like yeah, like to your point, like in the early days, like one topic would be a full 30-minute video. Now it's like condensed into a short pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. Like which ones did I see? Like they were doing ones where they were had this giant pit in the hole, or a pit in the ground, and they were gonna throw like 2 school buses into it or something. And so they just kept cutting back and forth between different events of that one video. And they would just show a little bit of everything.
You know, he said that he wants to make movies. So this like seems like it's going that direction. I mean, that's what you would see in a movie, right? You see a car chase, but then they cut back to the guys in the plane, you know, and then they cut back to, you know, people on the ground, you know, like they're just, you're constantly seeing things, you know, happening. So they're constantly recording, or I mean, when you make a movie, you have a bunch of different, you know, events going or things going on. So he wants to go that way, and it sounds like this is what he's doing. He's just testing it. He's going to come out in movies eventually.
Right. That'd be cool. I mean, I'd be down to dip my toes and see what happens with him. So far, I mean, nothing's come out for him behind the scenes. It's just been totally bonkers. He seems like at least a decent human being, or wants to be portrayed as a decent human being.
Yeah.
Like, we're not getting a lot of people that are negative about what's going on there, at least not too often.
I think there was like
Most
a
of
few stories, like the toxic thing or whatever.
That might have been a little slightly toxic or whatever.
Yeah. Overworked or whatever. But it's
the
always from
majority
somebody.
Of people that have like left his crew.
Yeah, it's always somebody that leaves.
I've always said that it's been a positive experience and everything.
Yeah, and it's always suspicious when it's somebody that got fired or left, you know. Then they're like, oh, you know, a year later, they're like, well, what happened was, you know, it's like, okay, you know, are you just trying to get attention to you, you know, are you just trying to...
And that's the thing, when some of these content creators are so big and they have employees that they have fan bases. It's a fan base. And what happens when the head of the fan base, like, you know, that persona is like, we're against that guy. Everybody's now against it. You've just told an entire crowd of minds to fit with your side. So a lot of these people who don't want to speak out or said that they've waited, so why'd you wait so long? It's like, well, I was scared. I was trying to do my own thing. I wanted to, but of course, like, if I spoke out, I was afraid of retaliation.
Yeah. There's that possibility, but there's also the, you know, I want to start my own channel. I need some fans, you know, I need some attention, you know, and if I bring up a story, people are going to say my name 1,000 times on different sites.
But I mean, like,
videos.
At the same time, like, that's a scary thought, like, because it could be a whole risk where it's my word versus his word, and he's got so many people and I've got so few. So if I say something, I'm risking being able to do any type of content creation at all.
People take risks, man. That fame bug or that virus or whatever you want to call it, man.
No, but what I mean is the opposite, like, of what you're saying. I think you're saying, like, say it for the fame, and I'm saying people are afraid to say it at all because they're afraid of losing everything that they have now, not about gaining more.
Yeah, I definitely think there's that possibility too, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just always suspicious, man, when it comes to celebrity, because it seems more the other way most of the time. And I
think also the difference between Linus and Mr. Beast is Linus is a media company, right? And their whole entire thing across their channels, for the most part, is to review stuff. That's what they're built off of. We're going to review. They at least, like, what, Eddie? 80-90% of the content has to be on product review of some sort.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so
And tech is exciting. I love tech.
tech is exciting, and there's so much things coming out. So I
Yeah,
understand
there's
why he
always
needed to
something to
grow.
review.
Yeah, there's always something to review. So it makes sense why he needed to grow in order to keep up. But I guess, like, where is that line of it's too big now?
So will he talk about stuff that hasn't come out yet? Or
Not
does
if there's like an NDA or whatnot.
No, not like that.
Or they
but, like,
speculate on stuff.
yeah, because they're talking about the new Nintendo right now.
Oh yeah. So there's other, they have other channels that talk about like tech news and stuff.
Just
and,
news.
and they'll be
Gaming
like
news. They have a Mac channel
They have a
dedicated
Mac
to
channel.
Apple.
The what is it? The Tech Quickie is the one that, and the is it Tech Quickie?
Yeah, they have Tech Quickie and Short Circuit, Tech Link.
Tech Linked and Gamer Linked. Those are the news ones, where they will give you, like, in 5 minutes, they'll talk about this week's or these last couple days big news stories.
They'll upload like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I think.
Yeah,
So schedule.
that's where you'll see is like the rumor is that the new iPhone is going to have USB-C charging, but it's going to be limited to just this or whatnot. You know,
Well, that's true, right?
Like,
The new MacBook is they're actually putting the ports back on.
the USB-C. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah, the new MacBook has a ton of
Ton of more
I-
ports. IO.
Yeah,
they have
it's so
USB-C,
funny, right? Because they went to like they had all those ports.
HDMI, SD card.
They had all that stuff. Then they took it away and just gave the USB-Cs to be sleek. And now they're going back like it's new. They're like, hey, look at all these ports we just had. It's like, that's what you used to do, remember? It's just funny.
That was the standard.
Yeah. And people complain about it. They're like, I can't just be, daisy chaining all these freaking things onto one port. Like, it's probably blowing some PCs and some Apple MacBooks,
I think what they're doing with that is like Windows laptops have come so far. Like they're like near indistinguishable between MacBooks now as far as build quality. What are you getting other than Mac OS on a MacBook that you can't get on a PC of equivalent price or cheaper nowadays? So
I do like the trackpads. I know.
What was that?
I do like their trackpads. I don't think you can get a similar trackpad experience on a Windows laptop.
Agreed. There's, but I guess that falls into OS because the trackpad technology is the same. Like you can get glass trackpads and large trackpads just same as they are on the MacBooks, but the way that they're implemented is different.
True.
Because you'll use that same trackpad in Windows, and it feels different. It doesn't feel the same as it is in Mac OS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a whole thing with.
And they're adding touch, right, to the Pros.
I don't know. Are they?
I thought I heard they were going to start making touchscreen on the.
Because if they do that, they make Mac OS a touchscreen based operating system, which it's never been before.
You know what? My daughter has the newest MacBook, and you want to touch the screen. Sometimes you're like, I want to scroll. Like you want to throw your finger. Like especially if you use the iPads at all.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if it's just like my generational thing, but I have never wanted a touchscreen on a laptop.
It comes in handy. Like
I've used them, but the only way I've seen them be useful is when the laptop like converts. Like not just a normal laptop.
Like it completely folds over.
Yeah, like the Lenovo Yoga pad. Yoga, are they Yoga pads? Is that what they call them? But they call them like 3-in-1s, where it's the laptop, or you can fold it to like a tent, or you can close it and now it's a tablet.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me, like a Surface or Surface Pro.
Or detachable.
Yeah, or detachable where it comes right off of the keyboard altogether.
Would that be cool if Apple did that? What if you could just take the screen off?
Then you just have an
iPad.
Yeah, and people would love that.
And so they're just never going to do that because they have the iPad. Apple's very particular.
You have an iPad Pro with a Magic Keyboard if you really want to.
If you
laptop touchscreen.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that.
Yeah, Apple's very specific when it comes to that kind of stuff. It's like
They're keeping it separated.
The reason they've never put touch on the laptops is because they have touchscreen devices.
And they want you to use that.
Yes.
Yeah. Because then it undercuts their iPads. Because then people are like, why am I buying an iPad?
There was like certain things that you were able to do on desktop Macs that you couldn't do on the laptop Macs, or vice versa. And they'd sell you the accessories like the trackpad, you know, like they make a trackpad for desktops, so that you could still have that experience.
It'd be so interesting to go to the Apple factory, you know, the test factory, see what the fuck they're working on, dude. Because they came out with the glasses too, right? They got Apple glasses.
The Apple Glass.
They released them.
Yeah.
Or they unveiled them, but I don't think they're available yet.
But they got stuff like that at that factory, though. Like, I want to see what the hell they're working on.
What their R&D people were working on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
Everybody does.
Like
We can always speculate.
translucent screen, dude. When are we getting those, man? Like, we've always seen them in movies, right?
Never, man.
At the doctor's office, and let me look at your symptoms, and then and then you could put it over somebody, and it fucking scans them, dude. Like, when are we getting that shit, dude?
Well, we have translucent displays already.
Yeah, but I'm saying the actual, like, you know, the fucking tablets.
But it's just right now it's not realistic, I think.
It's probably not cost efficient. It's probably way too expensive to make, you know, like it's all that stuff.
No, I just think it's not like practical.
Oh, that's coming. You can't see. I cannot not see a future. I don't know if I said that right, but I can't see a future where they don't have that. Like it's gonna be like you know, like I always liked when they show like the newspaper and people are like they're looking at a screen, you know, that's like clear, and then the dad drops coffee on it. He's like, oh shit, you know, and he's just like patting it because it doesn't matter, you know. It's so awesome that it's not gonna break.
Oh no! I mean, even like 3D TVs, people didn't watch them because they didn't want to wear the glasses. Now you're gonna wear an entire headset,
which you can't wear.
3D is interesting
for long anyway because it doesn't matter.
It's got problems. It's definitely got issues.
Yeah, we've talked about this on here before.
Did we?
Yeah, we talked about like the rise of 3D TVs and then how they just kind of vanished into obscurity.
But the problem with it though is that it fucks with your eyes.
Yeah, because
and your depth perception.
It's fucking with your brain. It's tricking your brain into seeing things.
Yeah, so that's the problem, really. That's
why Nintendo ended up coming out with the 2DS because people started getting weren't using the 3D features of the 3DS.
Well, isn't that the same thing though too with the VR headsets? Like if you can only wear them for so long, or starts fucking with your head.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, and one of the reasons is latency. So I know that Apple has said something about their. What did they say, Eddie? About they have like 2 chips now in there.
Yeah, they have a ton of technology on those.
Just to try to get that latency to so low that you can't notice it.
It's more seamless,
yeah,
more natural look.
Yeah, I think one pretty much handles the sensors and one handles the vision, the actual video.
Our eyes are gonna have to get fucking stronger, dude. Our kids' eyes are gonna we're gonna have to evolve with this technology.
I think the technology will get to a point eventually where it can.
But our eyes are evolving because we're looking at screens all the time.
I think they're degrading. Like this stuff's bad for our eyes.
Like our eye muscles are gonna get fucking super strong, dude. Like, so we're gonna have to be looking at multiple layers of content. You know, like Eddie, have you ever seen the movie Her?
Yeah, the one with the
Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. With
and he's playing that game in his room, and he doesn't have a controller. He's just using his hands, and it has multiple projections coming out to make a 3D kind of environment in front of him.
AR.
Yeah.
Artificial reality.
Yeah.
Augmented reality.
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of like a Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of bullshit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't the military have to stop using the HoloLens AR because they got motion sickness?
Yeah, that's what happened. Because this technology that Apple came out with, it's not new. Microsoft did this a decade ago.
Yeah.
And I remember when they were selling it like that. They were showing how a surgeon can be in a meeting and see what's going on and give advice to like other surgeons in a whole different state.
Yeah.
Because they're in this augmented reality with the headset and everything.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be some cool fucking updates to that shit, you know? Like,
eventually, yeah, but the problem is like we've got to get screens for all these that are small enough and are so high quality enough as far as like resolution and the refresh rate and everything, so that the latency between what data is coming through and being depicted on that screen is near seamless to reality.
yeah, it's gonna get better.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that Apple says that they've accomplished here, which is pretty big.
With their glasses.
But we'll see when these things get out into reviewer hands. But which reviewers can we trust is the question now.
You can find some kid, you know, talking about it, or you can go back to the big boys.
I'm just going to need to buy it from Apple and then return it within the return policy window.
Review it yourself, yeah.
Yeah. I will become the next review channel.
There you go. Start your own, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question, right? What's the alternative? If you really want to be a stick in the mud and say, no, you messed up, I hate you. Like, what's your where are you going now, buddy? You know, what are you gonna start watching? You know, who are you gonna trust?
I'm gonna have to trust like the boring people with all the data and proof.
Exactly.
I'm spiteful though. I stopped using Reddit because they killed third-party apps.
I did too. I stopped using Reddit because they killed the third-party apps. That's another big topic.
And that was hard.
That was hard. That's how I ended up on Instagram. I'm on Instagram so much more now because I lost Reddit, and I'm waiting for.
I'm on YouTube Shorts. That's like
YouTube Shorts was what I did first, but then I moved on to Instagram because YouTube Shorts has some weird algorithms, and the content there is just not as good as what you find on Instagram.
It's TikTok. You know?
They're all TikTok.
Yeah,
they're all TikTok.
They're all
now.
rip-offs of TikTok. Yeah,
it's all the same.
But it's literally TikTok videos. I
refuse
to
use the TikTok as often.
True.
I never downloaded it. I've never had it on my phone.
I just don't. I feel like TikTok is more Gen Z though.
I just don't like it. I've never liked it. I don't get it. I'm never gonna get it. And hopefully it'll be banned by the time I would get it.
Dude, you get it all the time. You're sending me reels all the time from Instagram. That's
no. I'm just talking about the company TikTok. Yeah, I won't use them. Yeah, but yeah. I mean the design and everything. It's already being adopted to everything else, so it doesn't matter. You know, everyone's gonna be using that format anyways. Yeah.
I mean, I guess we probably shouldn't be bashing on any of them. We use Instagram and YouTube Shorts.
Oh, I like Instagram and YouTube. I'm just not into the shorts as much, but yeah. When I say they're all TikTok, it's because they literally, a lot of their content has TikTok videos on them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just re-uploads.
Yeah, they're just uploading TikTok videos onto there, so that's why I call it TikTok. But
although I don't know, I still like YouTube because I feel like I still like that long form as well, and it's easier to just switch back and forth.
Agreed.
There's nothing though like Reddit though. That's the only, like, you guys left Reddit, and you're finding, like, I use Instagram, I use
there
Facebook.
There is an alternative, and the issue with Reddit is not that like Reddit shut down or anything. It's that they used to have an API that allowed third-party software developers to make apps for Reddit. And those apps actually did give everybody a lot. They were way better than the official Reddit app, okay? But now they've banned that. Like they've made it so that it's pretty much impossible for these software developers to pay the royalties to Reddit to use their API.
Yeah.
Because the second you start charging for something, it's just your user base is going to take a nosedive.
Mm-hmm. And especially like the amount that they would have to have charged monthly in order to like.
So you were using the third party.
I was using
apps.
an app. It's called Boost.
I've only ever used the Reddit app.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I've only.
No way.
Yeah, I've only ever used that.
What the fuck is wrong?
I guess
with you,
if it's all
yeah,
you've
that's all
ever
you can
known.
do now. But
yeah, so I don't have any. I'm
the
another
Reddit
one.
App is trash. It's
I'm another
always
one
been
that's
trash.
not attached to this problem. But okay, so like just a counterpoint to all this with the third party thing. Because Elon had to come out about this too, because people have been data scraping Twitter to get information. So that's a problem in the tech world. So I wonder if Reddit had some kind of data scraping issue with these third parties.
I don't think so.
I don't think the third-party apps did it as much of the scraping.
They can
That was more like
if
open
they're
like
they're already getting Reddit to their app, they can do whatever they want with that information.
Yeah, but it was more like individual users were creating all of the traffic for the app.
Yeah, I don't think it was that same type of issue at all. Reddit's thing was totally about money for them.
Because the most valuable commodity on any of these apps is data. It's the data of the users.
See, the thing about Reddit was that this is supposed to be the community-driven newsfeed. It's stuff that's shared between you and me.
Crazy shit is what it is.
I know.
It's the craziest videos of everything that you can imagine.
Depends on the subreddit.
I've been in some dark
on the group you're subscribing to, man.
I've been in some dark corners of these of this fucking app, dude. Like I can't find this stuff anywhere else.
No,
some of the
that's
stuff
the
I've
point.
seen. So I don't know how you guys are doing it. Like,
well, because you got to set your feeds to the right stuff.
Dude.
Like you got to set it to your content.
I've got some gnarly guys I follow.
Like after you've seen some fucked up shit, then you go to eye bleach.
Oh, you try to get it off of your head or what?
Yeah, you see images of like cute puppies and shit.
I bleach, dude. You're trying to go to Total Recall, dude. You just want that shit out of your head. Take me on a vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
There was one that's called "Watch People Dying," but every other word is or every other letter is like lowercase or capitalized, so it's like a sarcastic one or something. And so
I thought it was real.
All the content there is like
I was like, dude, Steve, you're crazy, man.
it's like watch this poor child gets mauled by a pack of deadly wolves and
it's just puppies or whatever.
It's just puppies. Yeah.
No, I've seen the fucking wolves, dude. I've seen those goddamn wolves.
Watch
dude.
people die all lowercase, and then that was
what was that, Eddie?
I said there's also watch people die all lowercase, and that is not the same thing.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you can
and
watch
it was always
people.
funny that I think like there was a subreddit called Trees, which was all about marijuana.
Okay.
And so then they created a subreddit called Marijuana that was all about trees.
That's funny.
Like redwoods and
pines. See, the creativity, dude, is just unmatched. You can't get it anywhere else. Like these Reddit dudes are so funny, dude. Like there's so many good pages.
Yeah, there are.
There is another platform that's supposed to be just like Reddit, and the guy who made my Boost app, he's making it for this other platform, but it's not out yet. Yeah. So I have been deprived of that type of social media, specifically because I refuse to use Reddit's regular app. I still go to their website when I need things. Like, if I do not know how to do something or I need suggestions, like, is this better than this? What's the difference of this? And I can't find it anywhere on Google. You just put Reddit at the end of that.
There's no replacement.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, it even comes up when you're not trying. You could be on fucking Google, and then one of the links will be to a Reddit. You know, like
because that's like real people asking the questions, and they're all commenting.
And then at least you get a community talking about the same stupid thing. You know,
whenever I would see a post on Reddit and I wasn't quite sure what was going on or the context, or I needed more information or something, I would go to the comments, and the comments were so informative, and the people like will argue and they'll debate and they'll have like actual living discussions.
Points.
I try to do that on Instagram or YouTube, and that shit's just all trash.
It doesn't format it the same.
It's not the same at all.
Have you guys seen ProZD?
Yeah. What was that?
Have you guys seen ProZD? YouTuber. Yeah.
No.
He's like a voice actor, YouTuber. He does like skits. He's pretty funny. But he did a skit about like before and after you find your hobbies subreddit. And he's like drinking a glass of water. He's like, before oh yeah, this water's pretty good. And then it's like after, and he's like, oh, yeah, I like my pH somewhere around 9.3 to 9.4. I like it in a short glass because it gives you more to look at, and you yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
just so
totally
funny.
true.
So much information out there, man.
And there was cool shit. I used to be subscribed to the Art of Rolling, and it was all about like all these people making like some really fucking crazy ass rolls for their blunts and shit. I loved that. I'd get all my news from Reddit, everything.
Oh
you
yeah,
sound like you sound like you're talking about an old girlfriend. You know, like
It feels like it. 'Cause
no, I haven't.
you're like,
I
I
haven't
miss her,
thought of
man.
politics in so long since I left Reddit.
I
Actually,
know, right?
Yeah, you're missing out, man.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't want to use Reddit. It's just that like
You mad
I'm
about
not
this
going to
third
use their
party?
app.
Yeah.
Their
Well,
app fucking sucks, and I can't use the app I was using because it all got shut down. They shut down all these third-party apps. Like they just could
and
not keep
even
them going.
iOS, like the developer for Apollo, which was like a major third party app for
I've used
Apple,
that one too.
he was like, I don't mind paying. I I want to pay. I want to contribute because I think when I pay, I get more equity in what I'm getting because he wants to contribute and he wants to give feedback to the API that will implement changes that.
they
So it
never
wasn't
gave a reason why they.
Well, the thing is the amount they're charging for it is ridiculous. Like,
yeah.
do you have those numbers, Eddie?
No, but I can look it up. It was like at the beginning of the year, they had said, we're not going to make any changes. And when we do, we'll give you plenty of time. And then by what, like July or June, they were like, now we're going to start charging.
Yeah.
And
And they just said like it's gonna be effective in the next 2 weeks or some shit like that.
I wonder. Yeah, there's got to be more to the story,
No, that was it. and in the
No,
amount
I'm
that
saying there's got to be more to why they're doing it. Like there's something going on. There's something.
So
I don't know
for
what it
Apollo,
is.
I don't know about other apps, but Apollo, they said it would cost them $20 million a year to keep the app running.
That's how much they were charging these people because it depends on how many users there are using the API, right?
Yeah, it would be $12,000 for 50 million requests.
And so every time someone signs into their app, it would be a request. So depending
Every
on how
time
popular your app is.
that's a request. Every time you type a comment,
No
that's
one's paying this. No one wants to pay the money.
Well, they don't mind paying it, but not 21 million a year.
That's what I'm saying. No one's doing that.
How much would you have to charge? Because like a lot of these apps, they were one-time fees of like $3 or $5, and you own the app, right, Eddie?
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
you'd
then
have to
here-
go to
You'd
a
have to go to a
subscription.
subscription model, and you would have
But
to
here's
figure
the
out.
thing: the people who subscribe are going to be the heaviest users, so they're going to cost the most. So then you have to up the price more, which means even less people are going to subscribe. It's like,
Because you're being charged for everything you do on the app. Clicking on an article, comment, like, an up, down, upvote, downvote, submitting a post. If you're having that broad discussion, like all that, what is that average price of 21 million across all users like a month? And that's just to cover it. It's not even to make profit for yourself to keep paying yourself to make this app.
yeah, I think that would average out to like $2.50 per user per month for them.
Did the third party have any advertising? Did anything pop up when you would use it?
Once you bought the app, you didn't know there would be no advertising.
No.
Mm-mm. Now the apps had free versions, and they would have ads. Like you'd scroll through your
okay.
feed, and
So
and
that's
there
where
would
they
be
were.
an ad.
That's where they were making their advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody's got to use advertising.
Or you're pretty much paying to get the pro features and the ads removed, which a lot of times was worth it for this because, you're supporting the app developer and they're making a fucking great app. You obviously don't want to use the normal one.
So no one is paying the price to have it.
I don't
Oh,
know.
no.
Are there any third-party apps, Eddie, that are still in business?
I don't think so. I think it completely killed the third party app.
The way that they did it that Reddit decided to do this is they want all of the users to use their own app and their own platform. Even when you try to look at Reddit on the website, they try to sell you the app because they want the ad revenue and everything, right? And that makes sense. I mean, they're a big company and they want all the fucking money to host their site. But I mean,
that's the other thing. Can you blame
between
them?
making it reasonable and just trying to price out the app developers, and that's what they did. They priced them out. They made the price.
That's the price.
So fucking high that no average Joe developer who doesn't have a team of people, is just them working on it in their basement.
Maybe they want a big boy to come in then. Maybe they want Meta or somebody, Google or somebody to come in and pay the money if they want it. You know? Because that's the only people that could
want to up all their ad revenue to make that IPO more lucrative.
That's pretty much what it is. And they want to force everyone to start using their app. And then they want to, you know, how do you force everyone to use your app when your app is shitty? Though what they could have done is start charging a fee. I get it. But why don't take one of these developers and buy them out or something? They're big enough to do that. Buy out that app that you know is so good on iOS and rebrand it as the Reddit app. There you go.
Just to keep it for you.
Yeah. You already know that the majority of your mobile users are coming from these, you know, very few popular apps. So why not just do it that way and make everybody happy? But instead they were willing to take the plunge of like majority of
would you do that if you owned Reddit? Would you do that?
That's what I would have done. That
you would have
spent
thing. How much money to buy a third party app?
It makes more sense because they have lost a huge amount of user base from just not using it. I haven't touched my Reddit account in so long.
Hey,
I used to be a daily user. Like the Reddit was the most consumed thing I did on my screen time.
Well, it's either
not anymore. Now it's Instagram.
It's either put up or shut up. You're either gonna use this or you're not. You know, like,
that's the mentality.
And I mean, if I was on Reddit, if I worked for them, I'd be like, yeah, man. What do I need to spend $50 million, or can I just not spend that money and then you have to use me anyways?
But still, they're making their app shitty.
They'll make it better. They update these things all the time.
Dude, it's miles. You don't know because you use the other shit.
I don't care.
There's a big difference.
To me, it's whatever, dude. I'm not in the.
You know, most people who use Reddit daily on the computer, they don't even use Reddit.com the normal way either. They're using Chrome extensions and Firefox extensions to change Reddit to, be
filter
the user
it the way.
Not filter it. It has nothing to do with the content. It's the way things are displayed and the usability of the site.
So they can.
That's what the app does.
They can filter it to the liking of whatever you like. That's what it sounds like.
No, it's not filter. It's like a filter would be like, we're talking Reddit's all about content. I wouldn't use the word filter, but what they're doing is they would change elements of the site or add features to it so that you could do more with Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it pulls the content on Reddit. And it changes it.
No, it does not do anything to the content.
No, it changed. Well, you didn't let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
When you cut off somebody, you don't get the full sentence. No, so it changes the experience because you're getting access to a different way of looking at Reddit, right?
A different way of using it. So the experience, that's the word. So it changes the user experience overall.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything to the content, but changes the user experience. You still ingesting the content whatever way you choose by subscribing to whatever you subscribe.
Yeah, so it gives you a more pleasant experience because you're able to do things that you can't do on the regular site.
Yeah. And
I get it.
And it's not like Reddit's not learning from that. And they just don't care to implement it that way, which is fine, but at least they
got their own
people,
style,
have the apps and stuff before, and now they've totally taken all that away. So that's something that's bad, and Reddit's been plagued with that before. Like they've had those issues of the way they've managed their company and stuff for it in the past, like banning certain subreddits or saying like we don't want this type of content on our site anymore. You know, going against what they would their overall mission statement is as a company.
Yeah. What do you think about X?
What's X?
Exactly. What
Twitter.
is it?
Twitter?
Yeah.
What is your
The
opinion,
company
Eddie?
formerly known as Twitter.
Do you even care?
I
I
don't
haven't
know.
even
I
used
think
Twitter in so long.
I've never gotten into Twitter.
I'm getting
I
back
mean-
into it. I've been using it. I was using it before they changed the name, because I created one of our accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know we have a Twitter. I just
yeah.
never used it.
So once I created that, I was like, oh, you know what? And then it made me start using it again, actually. So I was like, okay, I get it. It is different. It gives me a different feel from all the other social medias out there. It is like Threads try to encroach on their space, and that shit's failing, dude. Like people are deleting the fuck out of that.
Oh, is that the Instagram one?
That was supposed to be the
The
Twitter.
Facebook version of Twitter?
Yeah, the meta version of Twitter.
Yeah,
I
I
just
don't know.
never cared.
Twitter's
for it
just never
all.
appealed to me. Elon is kind of
You don't like him?
It's
not a
just
big fan.
No.
I feel like he's too full of himself.
Yeah, he's just
definitely.
flying rockets and shit. Fuck him. Making electric cars.
He's in a different universe.
Drilling tunnels in the fucking ground. Who cares about him? I'm just kidding. He's a crazy guy, man.
Yeah, he is.
Have you ever used that tunnel in Las Vegas?
No.
The one they have? They have one that you
I
can.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got the
I've seen
tunnel.
videos, but I
Yeah,
haven't
I've seen
used
the
it.
videos. But it doesn't even go that fast, does it?
I don't know. It's a fucking tunnel.
But the whole idea was the tunnel was like we can go at super like fast speeds, like 90 or 100 miles per hour in these tunnels because we're all on tracks and it's all technology based and whatnot.
I think eventually they want to do that, but for right now, it's just the
now
main.
it goes like 25, 35 miles per hour.
Well, the main thing is to avoid the traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a traffic avoidance.
That's the whole Tesla idea was like you can move your car into a designated like tunnel spot and it'll take you into an elevator and it takes control of itself and it just merges you in and you don't it's like
Aren't
super
you like,
highways
not able to
underground.
open your doors though when you're in the tunnel?
Yeah, you can't because there's no room. You can't get out of the car. You're locked in it. Your car is no longer a vehicle you drive. It's now a capsule for you to move through the tunnels.
That's probably a good idea. You don't want people getting out of the fucking car either.
No.
Yeah, don't get them out of it. If people can do some stupid shit like that, they will.
They would. They would.
And then
Totally
it's gonna fuck
fucking
up the
would.
tunnel, dude. Think about being stuck in the
I
tunnel.
do worry about like a fire though. Like, what the fuck do you do then?
I don't know if it's even possible to have a fire.
That's
right?
probably why these. Well, no. What
Unless
if
one
what
of
if
the
something
Teslas-
malfunctions? What if is it like a since you're all in these tunnel tracks? Are you now like susceptible to the flaws that can happen in like a roller coaster where they just got to stop the roller coaster and now you're just stopped in your car trying to avoid
tunnel.
traffic but just stuck in a tunnel?
I don't think it's a track though, is it? It's just a road.
Is it just a road?
Yeah, it's a road.
Yeah, it's
I
just
thought
a road.
I thought they were. Well, I'm thinking
don't
about
use your
the
own car,
old
though,
original
right?
design, I guess. Huh?
Correct me if I'm wrong though, but you don't use your own car, right?
Not
You-
in their test tunnels, but the
Okay.
idea was that it would be your own car.
Yeah,
And it would
yeah.
go
roads
on like a
that
track
roll
or it
into-
would take control of itself or something.
The videos I've seen, it's just people driving in the fucking tunnel. So I'm pretty sure they're in their own car.
No, they just drive into it themselves. I thought they had to
Yeah.
like go and the videos I've seen, it's like a designated like spot. You walk up and you get into the Tesla, and
No, it's just a bunch of people driving.
just driving in these tunnels
Yeah.
on their own, not automatic.
They're not very long.
No, you're not supposed to be manually driving in the tunnels.
No, that's not.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
self-driven.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're in
Self-driving.
their car. But it's got to be a Tesla. Obviously, you can't
Yeah,
just drive.
but I didn't know it was their own personal car. I thought it was like
Yeah, it takes you right into the road, and you're right on the strip.
Hmm.
It'd be a nightmare if it was just a fucking car, and then people had to get off, and it'd be like a whole train station situation.
maybe that's the videos I saw when they first opened it.
Yeah,
That's I think how they did it.
yeah. It's I mean, it's definitely better than what we have. I mean, if we got underground tunnels, they should work. But I don't know, man. I don't know about giving up control, man. That's a whole nother thing. Because they were talking about these, we talked about it too, about how these cars could just be repoed. They just send a fucking signal and it just backs up out of your driveway and leaves your house.
I know. Have you heard about that, Eddie?
No.
Yeah.
That's like a technology that they're talking about implementing on these cars, like that they can, if they create this self-driving technology.
You miss a payment.
Who was it? Was it like Ford who said that?
I think, yeah, the Mustangs or something like that.
Ford was saying that their Mustangs, they can auto-repo themselves.
Oh, my God.
Well, yeah, because it came up, too, with the whole Russia-Ukraine war. When they were talking about shutting down all the Teslas in Russia. And I was like, whoa. Like, even though, I'm not, like, with Russia, I'm not saying that they're right in whatever they're doing, but still, we shouldn't be just shutting shit down. Like, because, all it takes is, everybody can say, that's good, that's good. But if you're on the other side.
Yeah. And
they start controlling your car.
I mean, that involves
a slippery
the whole
slope
theme that we've talked about in this episode here.
It's a slippery slope.
Is these companies, the amount of power they have and what they've promised their user base. That's what it comes down to. And I think one of the best cases about this I've seen is, Eddie, you remember when the shooting happened in San Bernardino, I think it was?
Yeah.
And they had gotten the shooter's iPhone. And they asked Apple to bypass the lock on it because it was Apple ID locked. Mm-hmm. And they asked Apple to do that, and Apple said we can't and we won't because it's against our user agreement.
Yeah.
We can't give this data to you. They ended up, the police department, hiring a third party people to crack through it. And they got in eventually. But it became this huge big deal that, like, well, does that mean Apple's for terrorists? Because they would not open the phone even for a terrorist, and it's because the user agreement. It's a slippery slope. Yeah, we have the back door. Apple can get in there whenever they want, but they have to stick to what they've said that they would do with your stuff.
Once you do that, then the next person comes up and say, well, can you do this? You did it on the last one, and then it's this, and then it just gets to everybody.
Yeah, and then by that point, can we even trust the company anymore?
And Apple probably still gave it to them anyways. They just came out publicly and said they didn't. Who knows?
I mean, would you agree, Eddie, too? Like, how that stuff should be handled?
Yeah, I don't think it's something that they should give out. Especially,
I don't think you're right. Tesla shouldn't be retracting cars in Russia just because of political views.
And they didn't do that. At least that's what they said, or that's what I read. But who knows what they did? But that's the problem, man. I mean, I've heard about these stories too, even before Tesla, that like someone got control of a vehicle and made it crash and shit like that. You hear like suspected like hitmen, doing this to certain individuals. It's like they even brought it up with Tiger Woods because like we never found out why he crashed his car in the hills. He just started accelerating and he never hit the gas. And he went off the side of a ridge.
Tiger Woods?
Yeah, you don't remember this accident?
No.
I know he got in an accident, but I didn't hear there was like controversy about the accident itself.
Well, they never gave a reasoning why he crashed, and they never explained what happened. But from some of the evidence, they know what happened because they can see all the readings on your car. They can see when you accelerated, when you decelerated. They can see all that information on the computers now. Mm-hmm. Especially with his car,
black box, pretty much.
Yeah, with his car, especially the high-end ones, they have all that information stored. He never hit the brake. He only kept accelerating. So I mean, it's like, they never said he fell asleep. They did say he took medication that day, but they never said that he fell asleep at the wheel, and that's why he, like, I don't know. They just never really resolved the reasoning, but there was some people that were like,
did he ever say? Is he?
No, he
alive?
never even publicly
Okay.
like described what happened. But yeah, I mean, obviously he came out with the, I'm okay, I'm doing better, I'm in surgery, like because his leg got fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, he got really bad. Like,
I didn't know this.
yeah, it was like threatening. There was talk he might never play golf again. Like it was that bad, and he's already had back surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
Like his car flipped off a fucking mountain. Like
Yeah, I just saw a picture of it. It looked gnarly.
oh yeah, if you look up the pictures, dude, it's crazy.
It's completely flat, like at the front. where
Upside
the
down,
engine
right?
should be. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a nice car, so it had good airbags, it had, all that shit. He was wearing a seatbelt, But it's just crazy, man. It's just like,
Apparently there was no evidence that he was under the influence, though.
see? So, I mean, he wasn't on drugs, he wasn't drinking. It was early in the morning. He was on the way to like the golf course. It was like 7 or 8 or something like that. It was in the morning.
He had to have just not been paying attention. Because, I mean, if he wasn't impaired, he would have tried to
Or
brake.
the conspiracy theorist, did someone take over the vehicle and crash it? Because that would explain why he never slowed down. He never swerved. He just went off the side.
That's a thought.
That's why people have questions. They're like, what the fuck happened? And then we don't know, and maybe he don't want to talk about it because of something like that, like, so I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows in this fucking crazy world, But, yeah, it's just weird. You hear weird stuff like that and you're like, is this the shit that's going down now? Like, they can take control of anything, they can take control of your car, take control of your, appliances, the Roomba filming you while you're taking a shit. You heard that story too, right?
Yeah.
That the data got breached and there was like hackers watching people take a shit.
Oh, the hacker? I thought, or maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I think wasn't it Amazon where like
It
the
was
employee
Amazon.
Yeah.
would look up videos of the surveillance footage and stuff?
The employees were like, there was allegations or they got caught or sued for something about like having all this video content that they all had access to, and it brought up like questions of like child pornography and everything too.
Yeah, man, there's crazy shit with this too. Have you seen the videos of AI mapping your whole house just with your Wi-Fi?
No, I haven't.
I think you sent me something like that.
Yeah, it was this guy. He was demonstrating how it was showing a picture of the people in the house, and they were showing like how the AI recreated that picture using Wi-Fi. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, so it used the strength of the Wi-Fi signal in different
to bounce
parts.
off. Yeah.
So when there's interference, and then it was able to determine what the shape of interference was based on if it was moving or not. And that's how it could determine if it's a person or if it's a solid object.
Like sonar.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah, and it could recreate the whole room. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty accurate too. So it's like density and stuff like that. Like, how the fuck did it figure that out?
Based on like how deep those waves could go through it. But I think it wasn't like Wi-Fi directly. It was multiple Wi-Fi connections so that they can bounce everywhere. So it had to have been a lot of them. It wasn't just like one.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know all the details of the full test or what, how they did it. But yeah, just the concept of Wi-Fi being able to do that is crazy.
Which makes sense. I mean,
yeah, once you say that, it makes sense. But that means that potentially anybody could do this if they can hack into your.
If they can get into your network and see this, like monitor the network strength coming off.
You know what, too? They said they can do it with coaxial cables, too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude. Because it emits...
Map out with the coax?
Yeah, dude.
Because the coax emits, like, radio?
Yes.
Does it?
Yeah. I was like, oh, my God. And you go down a rabbit hole. And I think AI
makes sense.
is solving a lot of this.
Solid copper, and any data just like travel through that line.
Exactly, and it's emitting a certain
I don't
amount
think
of,
it would be as strong though. But they're everywhere. So at the ends of them, interesting.
Yeah, it's just another thing to think about. They don't even need a video or any kind of recording device in your house to be recording you.
I mean that's the thing. I mean, they have these TVs. There's this company that will offer you a free TV. It's a free 55-inch TV.
Mm-hmm.
Because you agree to let it record you while you watch content. So it can
And
feed you
ads pretty much
personalized ads and shit.
Below it that is constantly running ads.
Yeah. There's a second screen that's constantly running ads, and then
recording your every movement, recording your eye movement, recording your attention.
Yeah.
Recording all kinds of data points, I'm sure.
So if you're okay with this TV like showing you all these advertisements and always being connected and recording what you're saying and everything, I thought about getting the TV and seeing how if I can like disconnect the microphone cable inside.
Then they're gonna call you, or
they'd be like, "It's not reporting. Well, it's probably broken. We'll send it back to us." It's like, I don't want to.
The guy shows up at your door. He's like, "Hey."
Yeah, I mean, what stops you from covering the ads with like, I don't know, poster or some shit?
They'd be like, "Why are you messing with our TV?" And they just send you an
if
email.
it's a separate panel, you could just like snip that, right? You don't need any of the information on it, right, Eddie? That was my
I feel like it would probably call back home and say, "Hey, this person's not using this TV."
But how would it know?
If it's connected to the network, it would know.
Yeah, which I'm sure is part of their license agreement that it needs to be connected at all times
to your Wi-Fi.
So how long do you think that agreement goes for?
For your life.
I think if it's free, it's for as long as you have the TV in your house.
I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a way around it.
Yeah. Put yourself in a tinfoil room with no electronics. Only the TV.
Because the TV would be too small to replace my living room TV if we got one.
Yeah, don't get this TV, man. It's recording everything. Not just what you think it's recording. It's going to record all kinds of data information.
No, I'm totally sure. Like, why else would they give you a free 4K TV?
Because that was in the user agreement for TikTok, right? That they not only have access to your phone, but they have access to the Wi-Fi network and any computers that are connected to that network.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I think they removed it, but
I saw somebody read that whole user agreement, and it says that they can connect to your Wi-Fi and any computer.
TikTok's a whole different fucking topic, bro.
But I'm just saying,
the whole Chinese government corruption.
If they're doing it, they're not the only ones doing it. You know, there's other companies doing that too. You know, I'm not just trying to paint them as a bad company or anything. I'm just saying that's evidence right there that they all got that shit. You know, they all can do it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we talked about it before.
The U.S. just doesn't like it because it's not them.
Yeah. They're not the ones profiting off.
They were making too much money. They're like, why are they making so much money? We got to fix this. Yeah. But yeah, what are we at?
We're an hour and a half in.
Oh, there we go, man.
Pretty good.
You made it the whole way, Eddie.
Yeah, look at you, Eddie. A whole entire show.
Ooh.
And we thought you were just going to drop off.
I didn't, man. I had belief in you.
All right, then. Well, this... oh, yeah. Put the claps on. Put the claps on.
You made it, man.
There's the applause.
You can't hear it, but we're giving you an applause
giving you
right
an applause, Eddie.
Oh, I can hear it.
Oh, good.
There you go. See?
Perfect. All right. Well, this has been Digital Cortex. My name's Steven. That's Random Styles. And we had a special guest today, Eddie. We hope you enjoyed the content here. We're not too big yet, so you know it's going to be unfiltered and true.
Yeah. Just wait until we start making some money, and then it won't.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, people.
Later.